Greetings and joining us next broadcast. Alright, I'm trying to stay away from the virus titles. Yeah, I think I ran that to the ground. Alright, so today is a little bit different about space and the Navy. So, depending on who you're talking to, the Navy is like maybe one of the most important parts of the military. Uh, and they have like some strange organizations out there. Like, I'm gonna go into those tomorrow or tomorrow. Yeah, I'll show it today, but I'll go further into it. Whatever. The more I connect to it, the more other things are opening up. So just sort of little by little go into it, but yeah, just people are talking about the secret space program, and then you hear about these little parts of the military that are kind of strange. Obviously, they probably not look like anything on the surface, but it is kind of odd. So, also when you connect to the felines, get their perspective and connecting them here and there, it becomes their channeling just little by little. So I'm gonna give them a little bit more space. Talk about space, a bit more, more about space. Anyway, so as I connect to like the Navy, so the Special Command, that's actually real. The title of this, whatever I called it, and it's part of the military. It's part of the Navy military. So about water warfare and space warfare. And there's not a hell of a whole lot on it. So they go, obviously if it's secret, they're not going to go into details. But it's secret. So, yeah. So if you want your secret space program, there's a version of it right there. I mean, there's barely anything. There's a little stuff here and there. It's all just. So I'll post. I'll show something in a second. I'm gonna go further into it throughout the next couple of days. I'm repeating myself too, but anyway, it's a weird energy around it for obvious reasons. Now a lot of states are opening up tomorrow or soon. Probably a bad idea, but for a lot of them, but. You gotta do what you gotta do. There are probably a lot of places are gonna be shutting back down again, definitely, unfortunately. So, whatever works for you. Yeah, just stay safe. Obviously, if I was in a Miami area, obviously I have to wear a mask in most places. But here in my area, it's not that bad. It's bad, but not that bad. So, like, probably like all of New York, it's not the whole state of New York, it's just mostly New York City. So. Either way, yeah, it's rough. So every once in a while, I'll do more virus updates here and there if it's necessary. I'm kind of overkilling it, but it is kind of a hot topic right now. One thing about when I'm connecting more to outer space in the military, I am getting a lot of, which I don't normally connect to very often or ever, is artificial intelligence connected to our military. And when I connect to it, also I see, our media. So, yeah. So it's all interconnected in some shape or form. So I'm not sure if this is ever really talked about that much, probably in your UFO groups, of course, but artificial intelligence and the military is, yeah, of course, people have talked about, of course. There's different levels of it, of course, but there is a shadow version that's very advanced. I believe there is. That's what they call it, secret. that's connected to Mars and other planets. Part of our solar system protection grid, you can say, to keep us safe. Well, however that's working. So I believe, our a version of our military or something like that is aware of other alien beings, obviously called a secret space program. That they are kind of worried about some of the threats out there, as I'm connecting to it right now. So how I'm going about it is, connected to the military, in space, artificial intelligence. That's part of it. It's not the whole thing. But I see humans and aliens interacting, but not in like this whole, drama system. Just like everybody's lost their minds and all that, according to some of these mythology things of it. But it is, there are known threats out there for sure. I would say it's similar to here, where things are pretty calm for the most part, but there are some stuff that's going on that's uncomfortable. But it's kind of like here, but it's out in space, where it's calm overall, but there is some shadowy energies going on. There's a little war here and there. Obviously, there's other wars going on, definitely, on other realities that are affecting us for sure. On a third dimensional level, it doesn't seem to be. It's all that vicious. It is, but it isn't. Of course, I'm not able to connect to all that. Of course, you can't prove any of it. But as we go into our awakening, more people are going to be able to tap into this stuff. It's like this, businesses are opening up, but also people are opening up their energy fields and tapping in more into what's going on, where they're allowed to, of course. But yeah, definitely the military plays a big role in our alien connections. It's inevitable. It comes down to technology. What we're allowed to have as for technology. Like we have Teslas. It's pretty advanced for cars, and of course other cars have adapted that. So military does play a role in, from alien to military to us. I mean, you don't even have to look at the alien side of it. Just look at regular research. A lot of it is from from space, you can say, over technology. I guess the scanners and things like that. You have the grocery store came from space, came from NASA and all that. So you can just do regular research on stuff like that if you're into all that. Of course, I remember growing up hearing about that. I have no idea. Well, IBM and all that. IBM plays a big role in the space program, of course. But the main connection here, the artificial intelligence and the military. Now, the connections with the military in our media, of how that's manipulated. It does feel like a lot of it is coming from space, from somewhere out there. They're manipulating it. It's easier when you don't have the guidelines of our world. You can manipulate from somewhere. It is human connected, of course. Of course, there's alien influences from what it feels like, but it definitely is human influenced. I mean, how are we going to know? I mean, you have HARP, you have all these other agencies. I mean, the CIA, they're not going around telling you what they're doing all day. They don't tell you what they're up to. So, I just see our media being controlled from space. Obviously, is controlled from other places, but space is one of them. Jeez. Obviously, it makes sense because they want to keep, a certain amount of information here, and keep what the hell they're doing out of the mainstream. Let's put it that way. They're just trying to keep it filtered, so you don't know what the hell is going on. Focus on Trump, focus on his tattoos or whatever the hell he has, toupee, impeachment, whatever it is, the virus, to keep your attention over here while who knows what's going on over there. So that seems to be the situation there. It makes sense when you think about it. There's a division of military that's involved with that. It's not all of it, but there is a division. Yeah. It's always a division of something, right? So anyway, I mean, as we go into as we evolve, we started taking these systems down. Started knowing, eventually. I feel like a year or two make more sense, but who knows? Sounds like crazy, but not necessarily when you look at how mind control, how powerful the mind control is here. So, okay, alright, I'm going to give you a little bit of an update. Turn my light down a little bit. Alright, those that are new to all this, IronTower.com. Private sessions. This has a counter. Google Hangouts. Google Hangouts, Zoom, channeling by phones. Record it if you want it. Record it at the shop. I'm on the 21st of April. Same situation here. Got other channels. Healers I do recommend. Social network. The rabbit that's being upgraded at this time. Picture support. I turn the light down a little bit. Kind of crazy. With all that, okay, all right. So, let's see here. Look at the few lines, get their perspective, and we'll go from there. Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. I forgot. I forgot about that. And the military. It's connected to. It's weird. It's really not seen as all that important, but Space Naval Warfare System Command, and that's all there is on it. It's not a whole lot. It's just a part of the Navy it just feels like there's something else going on there. Let's put it that way. So there's probably a bunch of nothing here, from what it feels like, for obvious reasons. I think that's the director of it. It's just strange. Yeah, there's the Spa Wars. Even the name is bizarre. Yeah, the whole thing is just odd. So. Yeah, as I was connecting to that, I felt artificial intelligence. Obviously, there's different layers of it, but it does seem like there's a strong connection there as we are. It's like siphoned through Amazon and all these other companies. It's like it's a branch. Google is a branch of it. All Amazon, IBM's all a branch of the AI that goes into the main system. As we go into more robotics, I believe there are more advanced robotics going on. It's just not public for it'll freak people out. We're getting to there. Yeah, eventually. People are not quite right. We have to be at a certain energy field for that to come through, but it is going to happen eventually. It has to. Okay, cars are artificial intelligence. Phone is. I guess TVs are. So computer is to a certain degree. Depends on how much power you give it. So, yeah. Strange times we are in, for sure. Alright. So, blessings. Yeah, the Felines I haven't shown them in ages. They might come through a webinar here and there, but let's see what we got here. Alright, blessings. Here we go. Greetings. We are the Feline Councils. Our mission, yes, of course, is to assist you on your findings of yourselves. There are many feline worlds that have been in similar situations as yours. Worlds have been hijacked. Your world is hijacked to a degree, depending on the point of view. Yes, it all depends on it. Basically, from our perspective, there are many perspectives. Realize we are a feline race from Lyra. We are a peaceful energy field. Well, what way we look at it is many of your humans went against your own race and capsized it. I wouldn't call it ruin it, but lower its vibration to control it. Like your elite energies, it is your magicians. They put a spell on society and took it over. So, to give you another perspective, as you heard of black magicians, well, to show your superiority, can you take over a planet? And as you are experiencing now, some have succeeded. You can call it the Black Order. You can call it whatever you want. It is basically they feel like they are a superiority over your species, as they have achieved godlike powers. And your society is learning from them. Learning from their magic. There is magic on all levels. Now, if you want to break through the spell, as many of you are doing so now, you don't want to break out too soon. Because you want to, the more you understand it, the better, to help others out of it. So some of you can snap out of it instantly. Some of you have, and disconnected from society altogether, and done your own thing, going to high vibration. You know, the rest of the world, if it catches up with you, if it doesn't, who cares? Some are like that. Some are here to assist others. But there's always a grand plan that's not completely understood. But yes, the black magicians of your Atlantean Lemurian, you'd be surprised how powerful Lemurians are. They use materialism against humans. Atlanteans use technologies against humans to manipulate. It all comes down to spirituality in the long run, to shut down the human. Now, what happened is there's different ways of looking at this. Many feel like they're superior over your race, and they showed it, as your cabal vibrations are still continuing to do so. Now you are, as you more connect to yourself, you're unlocking the lock they put on society, lock on your own chakras. You are connecting more to your powers, but many are easily opening yourselves up. Once again, because you want to open up in a way where you can help others unlock with you. Like I said, many of you can open up, advance yourself to a higher level instantly, even die. Think, okay, I understand all this. I don't need to be here anymore. And many do that. And they do that for themselves. It's not necessarily a selfish move. It's just self-discovery. They found their way out of... And that's the other thing. Mastering death. Manifest your own death. Without suicide. To open up a reality and leave. That's power. So, give you kind of an idea of what we're getting at. So the forces of materialism and false spirituality, which is your religions, is all just a different type of knowledge. So you wonder why humanity fell into this world. It was something new. Not to say many are at a higher black magic direction. No. But it was knowledge. New knowledge is opened up within your society. Humanity at a higher vibration just cracked open, lowered itself, and look at all the knowledge that came out of it. To better yourselves. To self-improve. This world is, yes, has been called many things, a self-improvement world. And now those the black magicians aren't always themselves self-improved, no. I'm pretty surprised how many lessons they have not learned. They're not perfect either. But they saw a ripple, an opportunity to take over society, shut it down, and you're all teaching each other new things. You can say it's from an animal-like point of view, but that was kind of the point. Put you down to a level where you can't remember anything. It's almost like being boxed in. It's like being in a cell, in a prison, a mental prison. But what... Now, look at that, though. A prison. How many inmates in prison learn about themselves? They learn how to be a warrior. They get healthy. Yes, they might go through hell, but they also improve themselves. But not everyone goes through that. Some just straggle around and don't know what they're doing. Want to be a part of a gang, want to have power trip. And that's your world. The reason your prison systems are the way they are because that's the way your world is. It just gives you another perspective. It's like you feel like you're not in a prison system mentally, but technically you are. So as you learn about this, the whole point of all this is to unlock yourself from this reality. To make it easier to manifest and help others to manifest it. So that's why many of you have not fully let yourself go just yet. Because we feel like majority of you want to bring others with you. Say, this is how I figured it out. I want to teach others. That's what this is all about. You wonder what life's about? Well, it's also self-improvement. This is why things take so long as they do. It's self-improvement was never meant to be easy. Once again, many of your black magicians, as we your elite don't learn a lot. As many of you realize, they might have, a status, and they do learn through you, but not as, they learn but they don't learn. So many of you have gratitude, I believe many of you do, of how much you're learning about yourself. And once again, learning was never meant to be easy. When you go to school, that was never fun, and maybe being on this world is not much joy, especially go through lessons of self-improvement. Being an alien, being a higher dimension is, yes, it is like living like a god. But even gods have to go to school. So you have these godlike lifetimes where everything's going great. You're a Palladian being, Syrian being, whatever it might be. Alpha Centauri, Fendorian, whatever. But eventually, obviously those aren't perfect lifetimes. You have lessons, of course. But then you need to like, okay, I've learned these lessons, but I need to really test myself, and that's what this world was created for. And there are others that don't need to be mentioned that are harder, less harder, but very similar to this place. This university has run its course. It's been here for a long time. It's did everything it could. Many of you are ready to heal it and take the positive sides of it. That's not to say you're not taking it positive now. You are now. But you can take it and reinforce that positivity to heal much of the universe. There's many other universes that need much of your help. You're taking this knowledge and going somewhere else with it. This is always is like you go to university, you leave home, go to university, and you go back home. Same thing. You go from one universe to this world, learn here, and then you go back home and share everybody what you learned. There's much more to it than that, of course. And us as the alien energies most are extremely adaptable, not all. So when this universe is being set up, it was truly to open up parts of the soul that have not been fully explored. There's always parts of the soul that have not been explored. Some worlds of universe are part of sexuality, some are part of objects and shapes and how form is created, some are cells. We just have a bunch of cells flying around in space and planets, and it's just organisms. Of course, there's more as feline universes. There's on and on. You're all coming together basically to raise the human, but also raise the alien species around you too. We're all learning with you. We're not as sophisticated as you might think. We might have higher technologies as you see it. But it's basically our stress level is nowhere near as your world's. Is it fear? Well, it is fear of the unknown. It's just the mysteries of life can get kind of aggravating to many, which is the part of the process of learning. Many of you release that aggravation, allow freedom to come through. Yes, many of you are healing from previous incarnations too. Many lifetimes. And having fear of the unknown and that fear of the future is a major healing within the soul on a drastic level. Once again, you don't have incarnations like this on other worlds, for the most part. There are some, but you might as well go through the emotions, the darkness, if you want to call it that, darkness of the soul, while you're here. And you're opening up your reality. So, basically, is when most of your society as it started to experience more of, you can call it 12th grade, like your high school 12th grade vibrations. That's when your Earth graduates more to the alien energies. Many are in 5th grade right now. Everyone's on a different level. Not to say anyone's worse than anyone. Some like repeating the class school over and over again, as you noticed. And some of them get kicked out for that. Or leaving the world right now. It's just they found a gold mine and they don't want to leave it. There's a lot to learn, but this world's ending its cycles. It is moving on. It has to upgrade itself eventually. It's been upgrading over time, but now you're part of the major upgrade, reconnecting back to the universe. Once again, those of you that wish to be part of a world like this, there's plenty of others out there like it, very similar. Other versions of Earth, whatever you wish to experience. If you want more Earth, there's plenty out there to get. But this one, yes, is a particular one that's never going to really, well, it will eventually explain itself. Not just yet. Us, the feline counterparts, are, yes, we have worlds similar to yours, maybe more vicious. We have worlds where the human is superior, well, an elite Illuminati energy over the feline beings. But you wonder why some felines don't like humans. So, yeah, like you have the reptilians here, where there are worlds where the humans are dominating a feline world and a reptilian world, but feline worlds are more, it's more common. Reptilian worlds, they don't like to write about it very much, but it does happen. There are Nordic beings that control feline worlds, or reptilian planets, and feline worlds, yes. Reptilians just don't like to share their their agony. Have they been tricked themselves? Many Nordic beings trick them all the time. Zetas are, they kind of stay out of that, but they are involved in some ways. How can you take a high vibrational world and turn it down to a third dimensional world? Reptilians have been through it many times. Also the ape beings, the ape and the reptilian, even the feline, but the ape and the reptilian have never really got along. They've been at war with each other for eons. And as you evolve, you'll start to see why the reptilian and the human, because you're very connected to the apes and the feline, but very much with the ape. As your karma is from those wars of the gorilla and where the ape people, however you want to word it, the monkey people and the reptilian people. So you're going through a lot of their karma. So this is why you have reptilian beings controlling your world. Because I've done that to ape worlds on many occasions. The apes are assisting, but they're quiet. Some of them are from Alpha Centauri. Quiet on many levels. As you evolve, you'll start to see them. You might see an ape-like being in your mind's eye. Many of them are very loving, but many of them are militaristic because of your situation. Is the curse of being human, the growth of it. On this world, it took it to a whole new level of test because you're dealing with a lot more emotions a lot of aliens deal with at this time. So to deal with these type of emotions, you need the type of stress to bring out those emotions. You have the stress to bring out that side of yourself. This is why the stress, the violence, the whatever it might be, is to open yourself up. And the only way to do it is bring negativity to it. And it's up to you to bring positivity to it, to move forward, or be destroyed by it. As many do, because they have a lot to learn from that darkness still. But many of you bypass it, bypass the negativity, heal from it, make yourself a better person, which also makes you a better leader in your future, if you wish to go in that direction. Stronger on many levels. And experience your own darkness is necessary for growth. You kind of own it instead of ignore it. And you go to, you don't have to tell the world about it, as some do, which is there. Some want pity from others. Some want to learn from it. Some are just, look what I've been through. Different levels of that. As for felines, no one's really ever learned everything they need to learn. So you learn from a reptilian manipulated planet as a feline being. You learn from a feline's perspective. Our mannerisms, our way we live life, the way we, you learn from that perspective. So there are worlds similar to yours. And on and on. You're learning from a human perspective. Because as a feline beings, we have more of an understanding that there is alien life out there. We have more of an understanding of it, even if we don't understand everything. Your world, a lot of that's shut down. As you're reopening it, notice how many people are shutting it down because they're not ready. Well, your appearance would help too. If you were a feline being seeing a reptilian being, you become kind of put two and two together. It's like there's a little bit more to this, but you're a human being. And you don't really see many reptilians around. Some of you do. So, of course, there are religions with dragon beings and feline beings of statues, kind of giving it hints everywhere. India is a perfect example of a major extraterrestrial hint. And Asia is part of it too. Of course, India is Asia. So, hints everywhere, but the human soul looks away. Now, if you were feline and you saw statues of felines, you might look at things a little bit differently. Yeah, you have statues of humans too. But once again, if you looked more like the suppressors of your world, like felines and reptilians, we kind of get an idea. It's like, of course, our senses are developed a little bit differently. Where you know that we have a sixth sense that there's something else. Of course, our senses are pretty heightened, as many of you noticed. Our feelings are pretty heightened in our spiritual development. Yes, we are a little bit more spiked open. We're just designed that way. Your cats on their world are very similar to alien beings. Our senses are just heightened. It's just the way it is, where we're designed. We just know. Your world, on the other hand, you don't know anything. It's all shut down. For the most of you, not all. Now, some of you bring a feline perspective here. You just have a knowing. It's like you're used to being a satellite dish and you connect to everything. But in your world, it all gets kind of muffled. But you can still kind of see through it. That's your intuition. It's like connected to the universe. There's no more that's going on here. Some of you do have visitations with different alien beings, of course, as you grow up. You might see a ship or have a dream, whatever it might be. You need to be jolted, you need to be awakened, you need the panic, however you want to word it. But realize also, as feline beings have to be careful what we bring into your world. As for knowledge, we're mostly watching from a distance, because we have to make sure that we're not interfering too much. There are plenty of other beings that are assisting on many levels, and even taught a great deal not to interfere. Many have interfered in the past. While I was going into details, many alien beings have made great mistakes here. Yeah, World War II is not necessarily a mistake. It's a part of a growth, a major soul growth. Basically, the door for alien beings to come in came in, and yes, they kind of try to take over the place. But it's part of your growth once again. Now, humanity and consciousness, it wasn't what it needs, but sometimes it does open the door for anybody to come in. And it did that during the Atlantis time. That's why their world is the way it is. You have a mixture of so many different alien energies here. You don't know who you are half the time. A lot of the alien DNA that you have, yes, has not been activated. It's been all shut down. Anunnaki is part of it. Anunnaki is very good at reactivating you. They're very connected to the ape beings in a positive way. Their ape beings are part of Meldak to a degree, but mostly Saturn. Apes and Saturn. Not to say it's an ape world, but it is somewhere. It does have a great amount of vibration there, let's put it that way. And if you look at the Planet of the Apes, the movie, apes are kind of rough on humans. Because apes don't want you to make the same mistakes they have. And humans have done that. So, alright, nothing to see. Journeys.